Hi, my paper is called Stephen Hawking and the Technology of Communication. I researched how Stephen Hawking communicates. He is a world renowned mathematician and physicist, as I'm sure we all know, but he's not only famous because he's a genius, but also because he has ALS. It struck him at the age of 21, and he was told he only had 2 years left to live, but now he's 73 years old. However, he's lost almost all of his physical abilities, so the only movement he has left is in his cheek muscle, which is how he communicates. A brilliant mind without a way to communicate is actually what motivated the information technology and scientific community to come up with advances in communication technology for people like Stephen Hawking who have ALS or other diseases that mess with your communication. So, there are many benefits to helping those who cannot speak or write, most importantly for the individual, but also in Stephen Hawking's case, for society because he's a brilliant mind trapped in a body without a way to communicate. It can also raise some ethical and legal issues because as the technology progresses, he can only choose words at such a slow pace, but they could always use an autofill version, but that may be putting words in his mouth. And because it's a computer system, there's always going to be security concerns that develop. So, according to Stephen Hawking's website, he contracted his motor neuron disease in 1974. Yet he still went on to Cambridge and became a researcher. And then he became a professor. And on his website, we get a detailed description of the computer technology that enables Hawking to communicate. And this is a direct quote from Stephen Hawking himself. He describes his computer communication system. He says, "Since 1997, my computer-based communication system has been sponsored and provided by Intel. A cursor automatically scans across the keyboard by row or column. I can select a character by moving my cheek to stop the cursor. My cheek movement is detected by an infrared switch that is mounted on my spectacles. This switch is my only interface with the computer. Easy Keys includes a word prediction algorithm, so I usually only have to type the first couple of characters before I can select the whole word. When I have built up a sentence, I can send it to my speech synthesizer." So that's describing how Stephen communicates. I wrote my paper on him because I watched a documentary and I found out that he twitches his cheek muscle to communicate. I always thought he had been typing, but it turns out he can't even move his hands. So I thought it was a really interesting topic, and I'm going to research some more before making my webpage.